4-point game, isn't it?
Yeah.
So plus the head-to-heads at stake, as you're saying. Sheffield have got the hold the advantage of that at the moment, having won their first encounter here.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, this is the third game in the league this season, and the
so
Phoenix
have
got two of those. Phoenix beat them in the first round of the cup, so it's 2-1 in all games. This will equalise if the Phoenix win in terms of matches over the season, but the head-to-head's already been taken by the Sharks. Both teams showing some new faces. For the Phoenix, it's nice to see that they can put up more than a bare starting five, because after the last game they had little more than that to share. But they've the injured and the sick have returned to the fold. So Jalen Hayes and Jalen Hayes and Sol Rolls Tyson are both kitted up, and a new player in the form of Connor Murta will help increase the capacity for Ben Thomas. For the Sharks, they have had a bit of a spin around. They've brought back an old face and brought in a new face, and we'll see Mackie McKnight in the 0 uniform, and they also have a Slovenian big guy called Drago Bukina, who it looks as though he will be making his debut in due course. Slightly scrappy tip there, ends up with the ball going out off a Phoenix player. And Sharks' first offence will be started from the sideline. Marsden to McKnight. Alexander. But a bit relaxed in the offence there. Sharks maybe didn't notice the clock running down. They weren't even really close to getting a feasible shot off in that one.
A strange one, because there's still 9:44 left on the clock. There's only 16 seconds run out there, so I don't know what the score is with that one, but still.
Null.
Oh, nice.
Little floated pass, and Gettys comes around that and opens his account with 2 points there. Now, Gettys is a newcomer to the Sharks this season. They haven't played against him. He didn't sign until after the other one.
Yeah.
See how they face up to him. Noel hits the ring.
Oh, what a big rebound there.
A rebound from
Dijon,
Alan Jordan, and I think it was Rob Marsden who caught his wrist as he went to put it back again. So Alan Jordan will go to the line for the first free shots of the game.
That was a great play there. Strong on the boards. He's earned himself the effort from the charity stripe. First one not good, unfortunately.
Didn't really look as though he had his usual sort of eye in.
No. Early
overcompensates with the second one. One short, one long, and 0 out of 2 is the outcome. Marsden to Alexander.
That was another forced one right on the buzzer there from the Sharks.
Daniel Knoll leaving Alexander sliding on his posterior and laying in the ball for 2.
Doing what he does best. cutting through everything in the centre of that key for a nice lay-in. And that gives the Phoenix a 4 points to 2 lead early on, 2 minutes gone into this game.
Oh, Jalen Hayes.
Superb again.
Managed to leave his defender there for cold and lays the ball in. Alexander is round Gettys. Puts it out to Martin, who picks up the first 3 ball of the game.
Pulls it back to within 1. So 6-5 now to the Phoenix. A shade over 7 to go.
And Latinovic shows that he too knows how to shoot a 3. McKnight. Dirk Williams. His pass to Alexander, catches Alexander with a foot on the line.
Yep.
And Sharks turn the ball over again.
6:50 to go in this one, this quarter. 9-5 it remains to the Phoenix.
Gettys made himself available there. Nor almost too much space once he'd made the double turnover.
Oh.
And even then, Alexander couldn't make the shot.
Layups being missed for fun.
Yep. So, catalogue of mistakes there ends up with Sharks with the best opportunity of the offence, which they contrived somehow to miss. Alan Jordan forced to shoot on the buzzer again there.
A little bit scrappy again there, yeah. Just took a little bit too long dribbling the ball, I think, before that.
McKnight from way downtown brings the gap back down to a single point. Noel on his way round Martin, who just clipped him as he went. Now, we have no on-screen graphics for the score, so we'll try and keep you updated as much as possible.
CJ turning it over there. Oh, and not 2 more layups missed. Getting far too many easy boards again, Sharks. It's just a good job that they're not capitalising on it. Otherwise, the Phoenix could be seeing themselves on the back of quite a big deficit already.
Yeah.
And Coach Thomas has made a change as a result of that. Lewis Sayers coming on for the skipper, Chilo Latinovic. Another turnover. Oh, unlucky.
That one was round the rim twice and then came out.
Muscled on the boards again, Phoenix.
McKnight spots up, hits the ring, and I think that will be Marsden jumping into Getty's back there.
Yeah, that wasn't given for that.
Wasn't called as a foul, but...
No, it was, that's Marsden's
it is,
first. Yeah. A couple of changes for the Sharks. Sadale Hanson-Young, ex-Phoenix player, on for his first time in this game. And Drago Bacina in as well. That'll be an interesting matchup with CJ now for sure. And another turnover. Well, the current scores are 9-8 to the Phoenix.
And that's points, not turnovers.
Say it's probably similar on the turnovers as well.
Bakina. It goes to Williams. Kicks it out to McKnight. Martin hits his second tray of the evening, this time from out in the corner.
That gives Sharks the first lead of the game. Just under 4 to go in this quarter. Single point lead, 10 points to 9.
As Alan Jordan putting a pass too high, even for Gettys to get. So ends up just throwing the ball away, which seems to be play of the day today.
Yep. Not on the same page, everyone, at the moment, unfortunately. Both teams, really. This game's got a spark into life yet.
Sayers pulled down the board from the shot that's slightly too long from Hanson Young. Biffadeju finds Daniel Knorr.
Shot clock into single digits. It doesn't matter because it's turnover again. Coach Thomas has seen enough. He's called a timeout.
So I think he may have words to say about the sloppiness.
One or two chosen ones, I would imagine.
And McKnight spots up again from downtown, and the Sharks go into that timeout with the score Sharks 13, Phoenix 9. There are 2 minutes 42 of the quarter left to play, and already we've had a catalogue of turnovers and missed shots, and the score could feasibly be double what it is now.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
And at the moment, it's just like a sort of mid-table, end of season, doesn't matter. But unfortunately, to both teams, it does.
Yeah, you wouldn't think as much was on the line, really, would you?
No.
It's, it's just the game's just not sparked into life at all yet. Both teams just seem to be on different pages, and the Sharks just started to obviously get things moving a little bit better than the Phoenix, but they've been out-muscled on the boards. Quite simply, that's been one of the main problems. Apart from the ball handling, they've been out-fought on the boards there, really. So that's where Sharks have dominated us.
Yeah, and there were signs that they were actually getting their defence organised as well in the last minute or so, which doesn't bode well unless the Phoenix can snap out of their rather sort of lackadaisical way of playing at the moment.
Unfortunately, it's got ominous signs that the last time we played them here was the worst performance of the season.
Yeah.
Just couldn't get going at all. Down to 5 on the shot clock. It's got to go. It does, and it's good.
That's about they considered their passes, gave it to Sayers in time, and he was planted in one of his favourite spots.
Exactly, yeah.
And his 3 brings the score now to Phoenix 12, Sharks 3.
13, 16 now.
16 now because, because I think that Dirk Williams just slid in a 3 there.
Yeah. Shot clock into single digits again, out to Sayers.
Sayers round the ring and out again, but a bit more of a snatch shot that time, didn't look as smooth. Hanson Young to McKnight. shot there from Matthew Martin, well short this time, and Lufadeju is able to bring it away.
Offensive foul call there on CJ. Moving screen.
Right in front of the referee. It wasn't even subtle, was it?
No. I don't think CJ does subtle, does he?
There's Coach Thomas ringing the changes, trying to find a combination on this floor that will actually work. Looks as though he's got one of his smaller lineups out now.
Yeah.
As we got Hayes, Lufadeju, Nall, Sayers and Rolls Tyson on the court. There's less than a minute to go now.
That was a great pass from Brachina out to Williams on the corner. Unfortunately, he couldn't convert. Coming up to 30 seconds to go in this quarter. Phoenix still trail by 4.
It's into Hayes.
Wow.
Unfortunately, Louis Sayer seems to have his eye in, as that means he has now picked up, I think, 9 of the Phoenix's 15 points.
Yeah.
And the score is Phoenix 15, Sharks 16, with 5 on the clock. And Alexander's floater right on the buzzer means that the end of the first quarter sees the Sharks in the lead by 3 points, 18 points to 15.
That was an interesting no call at the end of that quarter that led up to Sayers' 3-pointer. He tried to drive in, and Sadale Hansen-Young blocked his way, sent him flying. They didn't give the charge, or they didn't give the flop. So surely it was one or the other, but at least it was, I suppose it was a fair call, really. He didn't. It could have easily gone either way, really.
Yeah,
that one.
Quite. You wouldn't have been surprised
by
right, either of those calls went.
It was fortunate that it just that managed to give Lewis Sayers the room he needed, just to slot it home. So, the Phoenix have got to get going, but there's only one shot game, so it's not too bad at the moment. Seeing as we've not got firing at the moment, so
yeah, there can certainly be improvements on both sides, to be honest. I mean, the Sharks have pulled it together a little bit more than the Phoenix in the latter half of that. They were taking their time a bit more. They were a bit more organised about the way they organised.
They seem to be moving the ball around a bit better, getting the ball to the players in their spots. And say fortunate for the Phoenix that they've not been able to convert. Yeah,
the end result hasn't been of the best from either side, to be fair.
No, not at all. Interesting from the stats in that first quarter, it shows that they've only turned the ball over 3 times each. I think there was one play they would have turned them over nearly that many times. But still, maybe it was happening too quick for the statistician to keep up.
Yeah. Consecutive turnovers from both teams,
that's right,
and that counts as one.
Yeah. So 4 offensive boards to the Phoenix's, 1 as well to the Sharks. So they're topping that. So I think it's the same 5 for the Phoenix that finished the quarter.
Yeah.
And similarly for the Sharks as well.
Yep.
So it's as you were.
They're certainly putting the pressure on the inbound here. At least in...
set up to do, anyway.
Yeah. At least in theory. Rolls Tyson finds Hayes. He takes a look.
Oh, nice.
And just a nice little floater in for 2. No great opposition towards his shot.
Nope.
Maybe they thought he was going to miss in the same way as most of them have been missing most of the game. So it's Sharks 18, Phoenix 17.
It's nice that Jalen just managed to float that one in, because they get the ball down him on the baseline again. Brachina's got a bit of thinking to do. Does he close him down and stop the shot? If he does, it could give the drive away. Or is he going to allow him another nice one again?
Williams has it swatted.
Oh, again. Just nothing on the boards from the Phoenix.
No, they swatted a shot away, another miss, but at the third opportunity, the Sharks convert to reach 20 points to the Phoenix 17.
I think that's the third time tonight so far that the Sharks have had two offensive boards back-to-back, out-muscled us on the boards. Oh, big rebound from Dizzy. How did he get that amongst that crowd of players?
I was going to say, he had no right to get that. There's even standing on some of their shoulders. He doesn't make the... kicks it out, right on the buzzer, but it hits the ring. So Rolls Tyson is able to rebound it and put it in.
Phoenix showing some fight on the offensive boards down the other end now.
Yeah. So
big basket from Saul Rolls Tyson.
An interception there by Lefedeju means that the Sharks turn over the ball again. But he turns it over and it's Hanson Young who's able to break out. Goes to Marsden who spins, turns. Sharks moving the ball around. And it ends up with Alexander.
Timeout call by the Sharks.
Yep. Well, to be fair, called by Mike Tuck.
Well, yeah.
When he was there, Atiba Lyons didn't seem to know very much about what was going on there.
Just seen something that he didn't like, so we're having this one, Coach. Okay.
Yeah, so 2.25 minutes into the second quarter, and I'm happy to say we appear to have found some on-screen graphics, so you won't be having to listen to us updating the score every time we remember. And it shows you that the Sharks go into their timeout 4 points to the good, and I wouldn't say that either team had actually cured their ills of the first quarter.
No, definitely not.
Although because there's still a lot of turnover ball as
another couple there in the last period of play.
And quite a lot of rebounds that you might expect on another day, the defenders to be able to pick up.
Absolutely, both teams seem to be bossing the offensive boards, so it's they've got both teams need to be controlling their own keys a little bit more, getting the boards down. So Coach Thomas sticking with the five that's in this current situation for the Phoenix. Stem the flow at least.
And Seedale Young has been swapped for McKnight.
Shot clock down to 6. It's got to go. It's got to go.
Well, another turnover there. To be fair to the Sharks, they are putting a lot of pressure on in offence, but there were opportunities there to get a shot off which weren't taken.
Right, yeah.
Alexander spots up again,
lovely.
And smooth as you like, 3 more. Hayes again had a line of a shot there, but decided not to take it. Floater there from Knoll, and that goes in as well. It just shows what happens if you do take the ball to them.
Exactly, yeah.
And shoot.
Yeah. Oh, unlucky. Alley-oop pass, I think, quite come off for Jalen there.
Hayes was actually off the ground there when his arm was knocked as he went to put it in.
Triple substitution from the Phoenix.
And we see
Alan
Connor
Jordan.
Mercer making his debut now.
Dijon and Chilo coming in with Saul Rose, Tyson, Dizzy and Daniel Knoll taking a rest.
And it's Jalen Hayes on the line for 2. First one is good. And the second. Gap down to 3. Shot clock's into single figures. Alexandra drives, kicks the ball out to Martin, who you think Phoenix might have learnt the lesson. That's the 3rd time he has been out in one corner or the other.
Yeah, just going to say that myself. It was they're moving the ball around very nicely and finding players in far too much room.
Sayers from distance, round the ring and out. And
another strange call there from the referee. I think that was either a foul of the Phoenix player, Connor Mercer, or it should have been a Phoenix end line if there was no foul, because that ball definitely came off the Sheffield player.
Yeah.
I was favouring the foul myself, but coach technical now against the Tiba Lions. He's obviously said something out of place.
He's shaking his head in disbelief, which is actually the standard response to coach technicals generally.
Still shaking his head.
But there's
Chilo manages to get it. He's not happy with it, but it's got in, so we'll take it. Coach on an early warning. That's going to be interesting now for the rest of the game.
Sure, he'll find somebody to do his talking for him.
Yeah, Mr. Tuck there with him, so he's not short of a word or two. Down to single digits. Shots
Alexander.
I thought he managed to get the shot off then myself when the buzzer went.
Bakovic takes a seat. Dirk Williams returns to the fray. And Dijon Allen Jordan acting point guard. Leaves it for Sayers. Dummies a pass.
There's a mismatch there. There's a mismatch on Alexander.
Gives it to Hayes.
Shot clock down to 6.
Another little floater, this time too long. And Williams is able to come up with the ball. McKnight finds Marsden down low. He spins.
Misses. Tried a little floater, hit the back iron. Come out. Oh, great play from Dijon.
Oh,
what a block
swatted
from
away
Williams.
by Williams. Mercer thought he was on the scoreboard there for the first time for the Phoenix. And as clean a rejection as you would like to see. The flying Dirk Williams smashes it into the side.
Denies him his first score on his debut.
And meanwhile, down the other end, Christopher Alexander on the line for 2. Goes through his routine, which means rehearsing the shot. And it goes in. Then invokes the power of something up there. But they both work, and Sharks first to 30, Phoenix on 24. Stolen away by McKnight.
You could see that coming.
Easy enough to lay the ball in.
Yeah, that was sloppy from Dijon there. McKnight working really, really hard around him and got the deserved steal.
Hits the ring and Marsden takes the ball off Getty's fingertips.
Great run by Chilo.
Latinovic decides that he has to do it on his own.
Coast to coast.
Coast to coast, lays it in. Keeps, or brings the score back to within 6. McKnight able to find the space to float in a little mid-range jumper, and the gap is to 8 again.
Sheffield starting to find their range a little bit more.
Again, ball pulled away on the boards by the Sheffield defence, and they pass it out of play, and Coach Thomas calls another timeout.
Some more choice words, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Things just not happening for the Phoenix at all tonight.
Well, they're contributing to their own fate at the moment. They're turning the ball over, times that they shouldn't.
And the man that sparked the team into life the past few weeks has remained scoreless. Dijon Allen Jordan still to trouble the score makers tonight, the scorers tonight, I should say. And that's never a good sign as far as the Phoenix are concerned. So he certainly seems to get going. I think he's had a word with the referee that he feels he was impeded on that last move just before the timeout. But nevertheless, like you're saying, they've been the makers of their own downfall so far, allowing the Sheffield Sharks to dominate the offensive boards. Taking 6 offensive boards to only 3 for the Phoenix. So 15-13 in total on the boards there. And they're moving the ball around nicely as well. Managing to find their colleagues in some nice open spaces. Martin a few times, as you said earlier on, has had some open looks, slotted them in. McKnight looks up for the battle. Stripped Dijon only a minute or so ago for an easy lay-in, so yeah, the Phoenix have got to get motoring.
Daniel Knorr back on court, see whether he can sort it out.
Yeah, back to the starting 5 now, isn't it, for the Phoenix? Oh, nice.
Left Williams in his dust there and puts home the 3 ball from the corner.
That was a lot better. Oh, making the space for himself with that first head fake. Left Williams alone in the corner there. Fortunately, he's missed it. I think fortunate to get the call on that end line. Yeah. I thought that was going to get blown for the foul against Dijon, but not to be. So we go again.
Into the last 2 minutes. So lots of bodies all over the place there. And the end result is that the referees decide it's an end line ball
Now here we go.
To the Sharks.
Another Ben's on a warning now. He feels the referee's made a mistake there and punishing him for questioning him at the same time. It's weird when his body's flying all over the place tonight. Dear me. Well, he's getting called for a clear one there.
Yeah.
Not much doubt about that one.
Nope. Williams definitely pushed out of the way as he went into his shot. It's quite an unusual occurrence there. Williams missing from the line.
Short on the first.
Makes no mistake with the second. Gap at 6 points again.
Seconds left in this third.
Step back jumper there from Latinovic. A bit more like it, he says.
Better, yeah. Still a two-shot game.
Getty's left, absolutely left in the wake there of Bakina, and leaves a hand hanging out to check him. So that the 2 counts, and he gets a chance for a third.
Yeah, a bit of a gift there for him. Easy buy from CJ. Thought that fake very, very easily, just allowed him that baseline as well at the same time.
Into the final minutes, 15 on the shot clock of this play. Hayes finds Gettys. Foul called on the floor there.
Oh, what a play from the
spectacular.
Wow.
Alexander throws the ball up, and Williams, flying through the air, crashes it down. Bakina tried to stand up against Gettys there, but in the end, there was a good arm's length between them.
Good shot going from downtown there at the end of the Sharks. Wasn't to be. We still go in with a 7-point advantage.
Phoenix get the last stop of the half, but not enough time left to convert it into anything. And so we come to the end of, well, shall we say a mixed half of basketball there. Some spectacular bits. That flying alley-oop from Williams at the end was something special.
That is one for the highlight reels. That
absolutely is.
Snow on it when it came down, and Williams came out of the clouds with that one.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
And at the opposite extreme, there's any number of misplaced passes and ball running out of play. And
that's it. Yeah. There's plenty of turnovers, total turnovers into double figures. 5 from the Phoenix, 6 from the Sharks so far in this first half.
That seems quite a conservative estimate to me. It
definitely.
feels like there's been a lot more.
Yeah, I would have said it'd been nearer double figures for both teams.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Coach Thomas has got some work to do now in the locker room to get them fired up into the come out in this second half. The biggest disappointment for myself is that, say, Dejan Allen-Jordan, it remains pointless at this the half-time mark. and that's never a good sign as far as the Phoenix are concerned. So work on him. He's going to come out firing definitely in the second half.
Yep, stuck, but it's only 7 points in it, and there's 20 minutes of basketball to come. There's still plenty of opportunity for this, to go horribly wrong or to turn around. So please join us in about 10 minutes' time, and we'll see which way it goes.
That's right. Okay, see you then.
Yeah. And welcome back. The players are back on court, just warming up in time for the second half here. And closer examination of the stats over the half-time period hasn't made things look very much better from the Phoenix point of view.
Oh, not very good reading at all, is it?
No, we've got, Chilo Latinovic is the top scorer for the Phoenix in the first half with 8 points, and Daniel Nall with 7, and Luis Sayers and Jalen Hayes with 6 each, which really tells the story and really explains why the Sharks are on the high side by 40 to 33. On the other hand, the Sharks have got Alexander, who's leading all scorers with 14, but also Mackie McKnight on his return with 10 points. And I suppose the biggest surprises on both sides is that Dirk Williams, who has scored copiously for Sheffield throughout, doesn't rate in their top 2 scorers.
No.
But even more surprising, Dijon Allen Jordan, who normally scores by the bucketful, is still there with the big round 0 against his name.
Yeah, that's terrible. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And only 2 shots got up in that as well.
Yeah.
In a whole half of play. Having said that, he's played 15 minutes of the 20 so far. So something not going right there for Dijon, but I'm sure he'll put that right in the second half, hopefully.
Well, this was a guy who the last home game wasn't an absolute certainty to even play because of the injury he incurred against Leicester earlier on in the season,
right,
and then put on an absolutely first-class storming all-round
stellar show from him, wasn't it?
Performance there. Now, supposedly returned to fully fighting fit, and it doesn't really seem to be going the way he would like it.
No. Still got a smile on his face, though, by the looks of it, as they're going into the second half, so not too despondent.
And we're underway again. Alexander being put under pressure by Nall. Ball is with Martin.
Pressure put on him was a little bit too much by Hayes. I think that's his second now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ball is back with Alexander again. Martin to McKnight. It's in the key to Marsden, who throws an extra little dart step in and gets pulled for it.
Blown very quickly by the referee. Gives Phoenix a chance of the first score of the half.
It's in to Geddes.
And it's made.
Who, little hop and rolls the ball in for 2.
Thought that pass was just a little bit short then from Nall, but it was a perfect weight on it.
Martin to Marsden. Marsden out again to McKnight.
Oh.
Who gives it to Alexander, who finds
the advertising
board.
So the Sharks not quite found the turnovers getting out of the system so far. Nice little partnership between Nall and CJ.
Yep.
First 2 baskets of the second half coming from a combination.
Alexander. Puts it to Marsden, who's able, again, under no kind of defensive pressure at all, is able to just lob in the 2.
That's right, he was left wide open there. Hayes is obviously watching Martin, but situations like that, you've got to drop off your defender. Go to the man with the ball, the danger man.
Latinovic replying in kind. In fact, going one better.
Yep.
Hitting a 3 there. Marsden decides inside's the way.
Good
and
spin
it
from
works.
Rob Marsden there. That's one of his trademark moves. Oh, very nonchalantly tipped back in there from CJ.
It's Noel who did the difficult work, and his rather strangely spun shot went round and round the ring.
And a technical foul.
Against Daniel Noel?
Yeah, he doesn't know what it's for either. I'm sure we'll find out. Maybe. I don't know what happened there at all, but all that hard work could be wiped out with 2 shots to the Sharks.
Single shot for only one for a technical.
Only one
these
for
days,
a technical,
isn't it?
sorry, yeah, sorry. Even so,
yeah,
it's taking a little bit of shine off the move. So,
assume it's something he said to somebody.
This obviously must have been, because one of the Phoenix assistant coaches, Mike Burton's waiting patiently to find out what that was about. But it's a positive start anyway at the start of this second half from the Phoenix. They've come out firing far better. Yeah, I think he said it was for talking. Yeah, so
means that Dirk Williams will go to the charity stripe and claim the one. And then we go back to where play was paused before the thing, and before the technical was called, and Sharks will inbound from the Getty's as a result of the Getty's basket.
That's it, yeah.
Bakina's back on court again. Gets the ball from McKnight.
Ooh,
and not the most elegant looking of shots, but effective.
Yeah, nonetheless.
And the gap is out to 6 again. And there's Dijon not scoring again.
That's some great defensive work from Sadale Hanson-Young as well there on Dijon. A couple of times he went in for the drive, no way through, which forced him into that shot that rimmed out. Down to single digits again for the Sharks on the offense. Bit of a mismatch. Oh, nice basket there.
Floats it with unerring accuracy for another 2, and the Sharks' half century is raised to the Phoenix's 42.
Look at despair on Coach Thomas's face when that one went in as well. It's not going to be one of them nights when they hit everything.
Hayes hits the ring.
Big board there from
Getty's rebounds it. And Latinovic turns it over, dribbles it onto his own foot.
Oh.
Hand in there by Alan Jordan. Claims that it got a rebound off a Sharks player.
Yeah.
In his dreams, possibly.
Noel missed the chance of a turnover there as well. He was looking at the man instead of the ball. Oh, great drive from underneath the basket, Marsden.
But they gave him again far too much space.
Yeah.
And it's just he found himself between 2 defenders, neither of which had a prayer.
Far too wise there. Oh! Now that's the way to get off the score sheet.
Yeah. Noel throws up the alley-oop pass, and Dijon Allen Jordan again sprouting wings and flying in to slam it down.
He's just had a word with Dirk Williams. I think he said, how does that match up with yours? Game on, I would say.
Williams tries it from distance. And Lufadeju, who's...
Nice rebound. Oh! Oh, dear me, that's hurt. There was no call for the screen there, and he just ploughed straight into the 7-foot wall. So Dale Hanson-Young looked in...
Smashed his knee into some part of CJ Getty's. Yeah. And
CJ's offered a...
Actually, that's not likely to do him any good, because it was his knee that was injured earlier in the season. I don't know whether it was the same one, but...
it didn't look good at all. The way he went down, he was banging the floor. It doesn't look in a good way at all there. Say it's his knees that have gone. In situations like that, you need a call.
Yep.
He was motoring back with Dizzy there on that plate. Dizzy was starting to get into full flow. Like I say, he just hit that brick wall there. Getty's never felt a thing.
Marsden with rather too much space again. Puts it out to Alexander.
Gets it inside as well, nice.
They're pushing it around well here, the Sharks.
Oh, it was a well-worked
Alexander
basket again.
On the end of a well-worked passing move, and is able to open the lead up to beyond 10 for the first time in the game. And Sharks are leading 55-44. I don't think his feet came off the ground. He's just holding the ball in one hand, reaching up. That puts in puts in a book on the shelf.
Not exactly textbook move, but still effective. Ooh.
That was a very athletic attempt to score there, and for his reward, he gets an offensive foul against him, Mackie McNice. His total disbelief on his face.
Still laughing and shaking his head at the referee on that one. He managed to climb as well. He got very high up on Dijon there.
Whoa! And now he decides that running through a brick wall is the next trick in his...
That's right, It's a place on the front row instead. Straight through the advertising audience. He's pumped now. There's no stopping him.
Martin replaces Marsden.
Who's done it again? Listen, a repeat show. Muscles his way in. Just a little flick over the defender. Don't even leave the ground. Another two, thank you very much. A little bit too much on
it there. And Alan Jordan is able to come away with it. Vakina there, flapping a hand at Noel as he drives past.
Just caught him a little bit. Daniel was into full flow there, driving in.
That's what goes down in the category as a good foul, really, because it takes the impetus, impetus off it without actually risking sending him to the line. So.
That's right. And even more so if they manage to get the stop now.
This time when he does have to get his feet off the ground, he contrives to miss that tap in.
I think he got a little bit too much on that. He just needed a little tap. I think he got more of it than he intended and just sent it over the iron. Shot clock down to 3.
Out to Williams.
Gotta go.
His shot rebounds off the ring and
to
spins out of play. Not a shot of choice there, really,
no.
A shot of necessity.
Yeah, that was a Hail Mary. Never looking good. Phoenix, good work in the D there. Give themselves a chance to bring it back into a two-shot game. Oh.
Shot well too long to have any chance. Alexander again.
Oh, you can't give him the room like that.
Left on his own, chance to plant his feet and pick up another three, and the gap goes out into double figures again.
Yeah, that's his fourth triple of the night.
And that's off the inside of the ring and out. Such are the differences.
Yep. Sayers not quite getting firing tonight. He's had a couple so far, but Phoenix needed that one as the lead's gone back out to double digits again inside the final minute of the quarter.
Williams finds himself in a lot of space there, and able to convert the three without any great difficulty. And it is now 12, I believe.
Yeah, all the hard work that Phoenix done at the start of the quarter has been undone.
For sure.
Now they've got a mountain to climb. That'll help.
Pushed it nicely around there. He came to Latinovic.
It's the first base camp reached. Down to 5, 4, 3. Oh, he's miles out. Oh.
Although he had plenty of time for the shot.
Oh, how did he get that in?
I do not know
that was unbelievable.
He managed to get the shot off in time. I do not know how he managed to get it in.
Wow.
Considering the illegal pressure he was put under as well. That was quite a spectacular conversion. It picks him up 2 and an opportunity for an additional.
Coach Thomas screaming down his ear the countdown from 7 seconds. Alexander just missed at the other end. Yep. That was an incredible move because he was pushed into the running track next door, I think, really.
Yeah.
And it's just one of them that, it's rolled. It's down to a 2-shot game.
Yep.
And maybe that's just tipped the balance. That slice of luck that the Phoenix need.
Yeah, well, they certainly
haven't
haven't
back into this game.
Been running that much with that much luck so far, but they did actually manage to reduce the deficit from 7 to 6 during that quarter.
That's right,
though the opening of the quarter, when they scored the first 2 baskets, it looked as though it might be a little bit more.
That's right. Well, they've just in that final 30 seconds, they've halved the deficit from it was 12, wasn't it?
Yeah.
From the comment of my mountain to climb.
Yeah.
Chilo hits the 3, and Dijon gets the 3-point play right at the death. So
it's a 2-shot game, and I think a lot of it really depends on whether the Phoenix can remain tight in defence while operating an effective offence to bring it back.
That's right.
I mean, they do have a history of, and they do have a reputation for comebacks. The Phoenix.
That's right. This season we were known as the comeback kings.
Yeah.
Plenty of games that we've seen and saw the Phoenix in situations like this for them to come out eventual winners. So a little bit more of that needed tonight, definitely.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's the momentum swing that the Phoenix wants as well. Dijon Alan Jordan opened his account earlier in that quarter with a spectacular alley-oop.
Yes, he hasn't scored any rubbish this
No,
quarter,
not at all.
I mean, having failed to trouble the scorers for the first two,
Yeah, that's it.
he's put a couple of spectacular showcase efforts in.
I think the Phoenix crowd and Coach Thomas will settle for the quantity rather than the quality in this.
Well, for sure.
This final quarter, though.
Yeah.
So it's the Phoenix with the ball as well. Hopefully they can keep this momentum going.
The last 10 minutes of the action, 6-point gap. Latinovic is in,
battled his way through, and one for Chilo.
And he will get an opportunity to turn 2 into 3 from the line. Looked to me as though it was almost a trip.
Yeah, Williams has the foul there. It's just a clumsy one, I think.
Yeah.
Certainly sent Chilo off balance, and he did well to recover from that to lay it in. Nice conversion as well from Chilo. So from being 12 down, the Phoenix have pulled it back to a one-shot game in the blink of an eye. That's livened up the crowd here in the Ellesmere Port Arena too. And a turnover from the Sharks. Sends Dijon away for the lay-in.
And he lays that one in for 2. And the gap is only a single point now. Now Marsden with acres of space there, but this time clangs it off the ring. Jalen Hayes pulls it down, and Alan Jordan builds the attack.
Phoenix have an opportunity to get their noses in front.
Certainly the noise level in the arena is
been cranked up.
ratcheted
Shot
up.
clock down to 4 though. It's got to go. Oh! What a play from Daniel Knoll! That was incredible.
He waited until the B of buzzer sounding before dropping it in from 3-point range. Williams unleashes and puts the Sharks back in by 1.
Now we got a game in our hands. This is what we've been looking forward to all night long. It's taken 30 minutes to get going.
Off the ring from Latinovic, and away come the Sharks again. Alexander drives, puts it out to Williams. It's with McKnight who slows it down. Back to Williams again. Dummies and fakes. Has to go the long way round.
Down to 5, 4, 3. Does he know?
But he managed. I say he manages to put the ball home. Basket disallowed for a charge, an offensive foul.
Claimed he was inside the no charge zone, but the referee saying not. Williams was assured he was inside the no charge zone then, which is I think why he went for it. Well, I think why he went for it is because the shot clock was down to 1. But
yeah.
But he was convinced that that was good, but that's not to be. So still a 1-point game.
We see that Hanson Young has returned to the court.
Yeah, that's nice to see. Glad it's nothing too serious.
Flexing his knee slightly.
Yeah.
Which not really surprised if he come up against De Getty's.
No. Yeah. Moving screen from Dijon there. That was called.
He also has that look of injured innocence on his face. Me?
Yeah. Yeah, McKnight did well to swerve the first screen that Dijon made, but then he adjusted himself and sent McKnight flying.
Hanson Young to Marsden. Spins, turns.
And a travel called on Rob Marsden.
For the second time tonight.
Yep.
Throws in the extra dance step. Dijon Allen Jordan taking a rest. Gettys coming in again. See whether he can exert some of the authority that his height gives him in the offensive end.
He's got a mismatch on him at the moment. It's only Marsden that's marking him. So.
But he got a hand in
move,
there.
Yeah. He was quick onto that. And he lacks in height. As far as CJ's concerned, he's more than matching in speed. And a wily old head as well.
Yeah.
He's been around the circuit for a long, long while, hasn't he? So, sure he's come up against at least that many times previous.
Alexander. Ball ripped out of Marsden's hand by Gettys. But in any case, the shot clock had run down. And the Phoenix force another turnover.
Both teams running the gauntlet a little bit with the shot clock tonight. They've been getting down to 0. Far too many times for comfort, really.
Yep.
And to force the last second shot. Great when it goes.
Gettys into
great play.
Latinovic arriving late.
Lovely play. Great vision from CJ. Chilo on the trail run straight through the middle unopposed. Gets the Phoenix's nose back in front. Oh, and a big three from Alexander again there. Over CJ.
It's certainly something that the Phoenix shouldn't be surprised that he's done. He's been doing it all season.
Ah, that's it, yeah. Noel trying the same at the other end.
And Latinovic anticipating that it would drop short, miscalculates and it goes long. McKnight takes the screen from Martin. It's to Marsden. And Cedal Hanson Young opens his account and puts the Sharks on the high side by 5.
Just looking at a little bit of pain there, Cedal. In all fairness, he's gritting his teeth, playing through it, but he doesn't look comfortable at all. Nice little floater from Lewis.
A running floater from Sayers.
Brings it back to a one-shot game. 4.5 to go.
It's with Hanson Young again. Martin, Burkina fakes, drives in.
And he's lost it again. Another 24 seconds shot violation.
Yep. Just a fraction more than 4 minutes to play. Phoenix down by 3.
We've got a game that looks like it's going down to the wire. The noise levels are cranked up again in the arena here. Phoenix on the lookout to game parity.
A little floater this time from Noel.
Yeah.
Makes the score Sharks 69 to the Phoenix's 68. Marsden leaves it for Dirk Williams.
Oh, great hand in there from Dijon.
It's with Hayes.
Oh, jams it home.
Goes inside, jams it home, and puts the Phoenix in front. and the noise level ratchets up again. Ball is out with Hanson Young into Marsden. Hanson Young again hits the ring. Alan Jordan pulls down the board. Nall taking his time as the clock runs down past 3 minutes.
He's getting some instructions off Coach Thomas. Oh.
Ball just running loose there, ends up in the hands of Cedel Hanson Young, who feeds it out to McKnight.
Noel felt he was fouled there on that drive in. Nothing given.
Williams' shot hits the ring and drops the wrong side. Gettys swallows the rebound and Nall can build the offence.
Big shots not dropping for the Sharks at the wrong time for them.
Latinovic.
But they're dropping for the Phoenix!
And the roof comes off the arena.
What a play. Just as we were talking about them not dropping for the Sharks, Dale Hanson-Young and Dirk Williams missing 2 threes at the other end. The skipper leads by example and sinks a huge 3 to give the Phoenix a 4-point lead with just over 2 minutes to go in this ball game.
But there's no way that the Phoenix are out of these woods yet.
Not at all.
There are twists and turns in the path.
Yeah. So time for calm heads now. Time to focus on both sides, really. The Sharks find themselves staring down the barrel, maybe. They've spent most of the game in the ascendancy, but now they've got some work to do to get their noses back in front. And more importantly, it's a two-shot game now as well, isn't it? So that was a big shot, really, from the... yeah,
because they swap baskets for the remainder of the game.
Exactly, that's it, yeah. So the skipper for the Phoenix coming up good when it matters most. Now big defence needed from the Phoenix. Keep them in front of this game. And the Phoenix players giving the Phoenix fans some encouragement as well on the way back onto the court.
Mackie McKnight finds Alexander. It's into Bikini, needs a hand up there.
Oh, nice little hook.
Yeah.
Nice little baby hook, just the soft hands. Gets the soft roll in.
And it's 3 points. And we're into the final 2 minutes.
Oh, and another turnover from the Phoenix.
Yep. And it allows Alexander to come away, goes to Marsden. McKnight.
Confusion reigning here. There's bodies flying everywhere again.
And the end result is an inbound from the back line to the Sharks.
Yeah,
it's out to Alexander again. 10 on the clock. Goes to Marsden, round to McKnight.
I don't know whether they're aware of it, are they? Yes, they are. Williams goes up with the shot.
Williams misses it. And somehow it falls
Phoenix, yeah,
via Gettys to Latinovic, and Nall is bringing the ball forward.
Marsden and CJ both had hold of the ball and sort of like snatched it off each other, and it ran free, but fortunately to a Phoenix player. Big 3 from Chilo. Oh, he's hits it again.
Into the final minute. Phoenix up by 5, and another 3-pointer from Chilo Latinovic, who has a grin all over his face.
What a turnaround from just before the half, when there was just nothing but frowns. And frowns have been turned upside down, most certainly. not only from Chilo but from the rest of the house here in Ellesmere Port. So that's a 5-point lead they're taking into now, just inside the final minute. Still not over by any stretch, as we've seen from Phoenix games early on this season. So Phoenix do themselves a power of good if they can turn this one round and go away with the 2 points.
Yep, looks like Sharks on their third timeout as well. Phoenix have still got a couple.
In particular, with the results from around the league tonight, the Phoenix need to get the 2 points, as Manchester have pulled off a shock win home against Leicester, with 75 points to 73. And one of the other teams in and around where the Phoenix are, Glasgow Rocks gained a home win against Worcester Wolves, 92-79. So 2 points here for the Phoenix is paramount, just to keep their noses in front of the chasing pack.
And the Sharks have advanced the ball. It's with Williams. It's into Burkina. It's out to Alexander. He pushes it out to McKnight. Fake.
Oh! Foul on the final second of the play. If he hadn't have fouled him there. There was no way he was getting that shot off. And he said the referee said it was a
shooting foul?
A shooting foul, not a chance. It was his first dribble. He wasn't even into his stride. Yeah, mate. That's hurt Daniel as well. Coach Thomas has called a timeout after this play. So we've got a one-shot game again. Shade under 39 seconds to go.
Phoenix will doubtless advance the ball here.
Yeah.
14 seconds on the clock.
So
they will aim to, ideally, to score a 3 at 13.9.
Well, that's it. I mean, the thing is, they've got to. If they score, then they put all the pressure back on the Sharks, because Sharks have used their 3 timeouts, so they've got nothing left as far as that's concerned. So, Coach Lyons has got no opportunities to call his boys in of his own volition anyway.
No.
Only if Coach Thomas decides to use his final timeout.
And that really depends on the outcome of this offence, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. This is a big play.
And what
big
happens
play
in
all
the
round.
following play, yeah.
Absolutely. Big play all round on this one. Just a one-shot game. Phoenix have got to capitalise on this now. And just to bring everyone up to date with the other results around the league tonight, the early tip-off down in Plymouth saw the London Lions. No, they're not advancing it. They're going to use up the clock. Yeah, saw the London Lions take a big away victory at Plymouth Raiders by 93 points to 67. Ooh, lucky there, I think, for the Phoenix. Some good full court press from the Sharks there.
Yeah.
Ended up with the Phoenix throwing it out to the 7-foot point guard. Just about got the ball out to Daniel Knoll. Ooh, nearly turned it over again. Wow.
I think there will probably be a bit of that to come.
Yeah. Well, they've only just got in the penalty now, and that's the full team foul. So let's push the Sharks up to their limit. And that's obviously the tactic that the Sharks are using, is to foul quickly.
Yeah.
Still 30 seconds and a bit left on the clock.
And Dijon Allen Jordan being sent to the line.
I thought the foul was on CJ, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. A nice try, Dijon. Nearly worked.
Well, he thinks it's funny anyway.
Yeah.
I have to say that one thought about it. It wiped its feet,
right, yeah.
but it came in.
Got the kind home roll. That's the thing that the Phoenix needed.
And the second one is good as well.
String takes it back out to 2 shots, which is the important thing. Oh, nearly a turnover. CJ got his hand in. Oh, this time it is a turnover.
And Alan Jordan is coming away.
Oh, and the foul.
Fouled on the shot.
Yeah.
Daniel Nall hopefully claims that it could have been intentional and unsportsmanlike.
Yeah.
But the referee's probably a bit less likely to call that this season than they do.
So, just a shade under 17 seconds left, and Dijon Allen Jordan's got a chance.
And this time it is Dijon Allen Jordan on the line.
Yeah, legitimately.
And the first one drops in.
Chance to take it out to a 3-shot ball game, which should hopefully see them over the line then. Takes the lead out to 6 on that one. This to seal it.
It just about
drops
in, and it did. Mackie McKnight has to.
Put the crowd
shoot,
here.
Misses it. And Alan Jordan will go off for a mazy dribble.
Just about.
And it's down to a single second.
And the Phoenix have done it.
And
what a win.
They managed to pull another victory out of the fire. There's, in the end, a 7-point gap, which for most of the game looked a little unlikely.
Yeah.
But they came good in the final quarter, and they gave no quarter. Their defence tightened up. They shut down the what had been working well for the Sharks, and kept them down to, the case there that the Sharks only scored 33 in the second half.
That's right, yep.
And
47 to the Phoenix.
47 to the Phoenix, which really shows what they've done. And they are looking more than a little delighted.
Yep. Yeah, that was a big performance in the second half, particularly that final quarter as well. It's just the end of that final quarter. 30 seconds to go in the third. They saw themselves 12 points down with what seemed, as I said at the time, a mountain to climb, because it was one of their nights really where nothing seemed to be going right for them. They were battling, they pulled themselves back into the game, and then the Sharks have stretched the lead back out again. But then when that 30-second play, huge 3 from Chilo, with that amazing and one as well from Dijon Allen Jordan right at the death of the third.
Yeah. Well,
so
you said
half that deficit then.
Mark, you said at half time that that Dijon Allen Jordan owed the Phoenix a performance.
Yeah.
And I think we can say it happened.
Absolutely, yeah. Second half. But they all stepped up. I said Chilo put in a captain's performance, certainly from that 3-point range when it really mattered. And them shots at the end that were falling all night for the Sharks didn't quite drop for them. Dale Hanson-Young missed one, Dirk Williams missed a couple, Alexander didn't stop dropping. So in the stretch, when you need them to drop, the Phoenixes did, the Sharks didn't, and that was the difference in the end.
Yeah, well, it has to be said, it looked for a long time, particularly in the first half, that the Sharks were going to do what they did when they came here earlier on in the season.
Absolutely,
and,
yeah.
And just snuff out the Phoenix offence and do what they do best, which is basically they play through and likes of Alexander. It used to be all Alexander and Williams scored more than 50% of their points over the last 5 games. And Mackie McKnight seems to have taken a bit of the onus off of those two, but largely they still, if it isn't those, 1 or 2 players firing, they don't. They've gone. I was looking at their results over the last 5 games. They're only averaging in the high 60s.
Yeah, that's right.
As an attacking force, and they didn't get that much more today. They're still only 73 points.
And in the first half, they were helped by the Phoenix defence as well. So most of them points came from that. So.
Yeah. So just got before we sign off, we've got a few games to let you know that will be on livebasketball.tv starting on. Unusually, the Lions have a habit of playing games at strange times, and Lions against London City Royals at the Copper Box on this Tuesday. A chance to revenge the City Royals win in the trophy final. And then there's some. Well, they're all big games.
Now this time of the season,
because it's so tight in the Championship. Worcester will be playing Manchester, which is one which the Phoenix will be looking at closely.
Definitely,
because they would really quite like Worcester, the resurgent Worcester, to beat Giants there. Because
Giants had a huge win tonight though against Leicester. So
Lions play the Sharks, which the Sharks probably aren't feeling too confident about the way that the Lions have been playing. And then it's Eagles against the Flyers, and Bristol are down there in the melting pot, in the mix, where it's there. And the London City Royals will play against Leicester, which is probably, on the face of it, next Friday's match of the day, I would think.
I would say so.
Yeah, despite the fact that both Lions and the Royals will be playing twice in 4 days. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed that this evening. It was certainly one to watch, I think. It certainly got better during it. If you'd left at half-time, you wouldn't have expected what the second half did.
Yeah, cracking game.
And please join us back here again, and we will be here on Sunday next week when we will have
Newcastle
Eagles joining us. Until then, good night. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Good night. Bye-bye.